program. Viewer discretion is advised.
Good morning, Valhalla. It is the 5th of November. Go out and vote. Go out and do your thing. Go out and change the world. Go out and change history. By God, get out and vote today. Snorty Poopus Cuber, my favorite polar bear on YouTube, under the name Snorty Bear, says, I miss my green. Why does Snorty miss his green? Because YouTube will not show his comments in chat. Why won't YouTube show his comments in chat? Most likely it's something political, and they are putting the kibosh on everything and getting ready to yeet people off of YouTube. This intro is so much better than the AI garbage. You're not the only one who thinks that, Papa, because Mary, quite contrary, says, go vote. That is my only comment. But please, oh, please tell me the music is back permanently. If you want the music back, by God, it's back. So the reason why I started using the ones with lyrics was because I could not yell in the morning. And I couldn't constantly do the shout outs, and I needed something to divert people's attention. And the AI music people liked it. It was good. So if you don't like it, then there is always that intro, and there can always be new intros using the original music, since I do have a little copyright with your original music. So I've actually got a copyright on a couple of his songs. So a couple of the ones that are really good. So good morning, everybody. Hopefully you all are doing well. Get your butts out and vote today, or you can't talk any shit. You can't complain. You can't say nothing. People will do it anyway. But if you didn't vote, then what do you have to say about it? Pat asks, good morning. He says, yo, 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 Cuba. Palame's minion is here. Stone Cold Loki. You should get your picture today or tomorrow. Thank you so very much. Palame, I can't wait. I can't wait to put it up. I can't wait to show it off. There is a movie size 1980s Thundercat poster I'm getting that I'm going to have in a white frame that I'm putting somewhere over there. I think I'm going to put your picture like on the, cause it's going to be on a corner. So I'm going to have that on one side. I think I'm going to put yours up right next to it on the other wall. So I think I know where I'm going to put it. Voted weekend before last. All the early voters, man, you guys got it. There's all this craziness going on. Like it's going to be raining here all day. So Rennie says, "Oh my god, I'm so jealous. I love Thundercats. Thundercats is so cool, and it's an '80s. Like, I mean, it's got the whole crew on it. It's got Mumra like huge in the background with Lion-O doing the thing, and it looks really cool. I wonder if I can pull up a picture of it. Let me see. This was ordered like 6 months ago." Because they don't have it. They don't have it anymore, and it's taking forever to get it. I still don't have it. Poster. Okay. I can share it. All right. That's the poster. So I thought that looked I was like, damn. When I saw that, I was like, holy crap. Chitara's like doing her thing right up front. You got Panthro, you got Lion-O, Pumira, Linkso, Tigra, Wily Cat, and Wily Kid. Jaga's off here to the side. Mumro's like in the middle. I was like, damn, dude, that would have been a badass movie poster. So, um, I know you can't order another one. I think because I think they're all sold out. I don't think you can order it. I know it's been pushed back. No, it's sold out. Yeah. You only had a certain amount of time to do it. So, and that was it. But I mean, it's definitely badass. All right. Oh, MB Geek, what's up? MB Geek's Bar Girl with $10 super chat says, wife and I voted for the dream team this morning. I have no interest in voting for the person who is aligned with the Warhawks that kept me in war for 20 years. My son is 18 next year. Tired of war. Isn't it funny how that worked? I mean, it's like this was supposed to be the party of peace and unity, bringing people together. Now they're the party of war and spreading fear and keeping people separated. You can't make this shit up. You cannot make this shit up. I swear. And thank you, brother. MB Geek. Thank you for the super chat. Thank you for your service, bro. Thank you for what you do. Thank you, man. And let's see, what do we got here? What do we got here? A little rock and roll. A little Jules Winfield, a little Gladiator, a little nipple gun. No, none of that seems appropriate. I know. I know what we'll do. Because, I mean, it's so controversial and everybody's going up in arms about it. Why don't we just burn it all down? Skull! One year, me and one of my cousins dressed as Wile E. Kit and Wile E. Cat for Halloween. Heck yeah. Heck yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I can't vote, Loki. My car is broken and I have to drive 4.5 hours to my registered county. You can't vote you have to vote in your registered county? Is that the way it works in Florida? You have to vote in your registered county? That sucks, bro. That sucks. I don't know why Florida does that. You should be able to vote anywhere in your state. That's the way it should work anyway. Obviously, it won't. I'd say if you do vote, you're the problem. The country was bought and paid for a long time ago. They own this place. They own you. It's a big club. You ain't in it. You're not in it, folks. Sorry. Pat S. Breaking it down. You're not in it, folks. You're not in the club. Sound like George Carlin this morning, Pat S. You're not in the club, kids. In Michigan, you have to vote in your precinct. That's crazy. That's crazy. I don't think it works that way in Texas. I thought you could just go where you wanted and voted. You have to vote where you're registered. Okay. It cuts down on voter fraud. I did not know that. You would think with all the high-tech, super cool systems they have that they would just be like, it's all taken care of. It's all taken care of. As soon as you vote, it tracks it. It knows your ID. Oh, yeah, that's right. No ID. Knows your social. Oh, wait, that's right. You don't have to use your social. In fact, what is this registered business? I mean, how can you be registered to do a illegal thing? How can you be registered to do something if that's not the way it's supposed to work anymore? You're supposed to be able to walk in, tell them you're there to vote, and hit the button and vote. That's it. You know why you're supposed to have an ID and all that jazz? Because there's laws against foreign election interference. So let's say, just for instance, that Mexico wanted to influence the U.S. elections. So they all jump across. And whether they're coming in through TJ, whether they're coming in through Texas, whether they're coming in through New Mexico, wherever, they all jump over and they go and vote. You see, that's called election interference. Something that's a big no-no. They're not supposed to do that, which is why you're supposed to have ID. You're supposed to have ID when you go and vote. That way you can show them, yes, I'm a U.S. citizen. I have the right to vote in this election. You're not supposed to vote if you're not a U.S. citizen. So I don't get what the issue is. Now are they saying everyone, as soon as you walk across the border, you're a U.S. citizen? Well, you need to let us know that. You need to let us know that's what you want. And that's how you feel the rules work. Please let us know. That way we can spot you and point you out and go, You can talk about Hollywood. You can talk about stuff that's going on in the country right now. You can talk about stuff that's going on overseas with stuff. But I want to tell you something. When your back door and your front door are left open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, all kinds of stuff gets in your house, right? There's all kinds of stuff that can get in your house. I mean, Pops over at Pops Talk Hard, he had a bear. He had a bear show up. I mean, imagine just leaving your front and back door open, letting the bear come in and eat your foot while you're asleep. Wake up, you have your damn foot in a bear's mouth. If you're gonna leave the doors open, why do we need an ID for anything? If you just don't care, please let us know these things. Mexico has a Jewish woman for president. They've got their own election problems. That they do. That they do. And we're going to see what happens. See, 8 years ago, almost 8 years ago now, they had no idea what was going to happen. It was all, oh, we're sure this person's going to win. And then that didn't happen. Things change pretty damn quick. And 4 years ago, there wasn't almost any early voting on one side compared to the other, where the other was doing all kinds of early voting stuff, mail-ins and ballots and boxes and all kinds of stuff. The other side wasn't doing any of that shit. They were just like, oh, we'll just show up at the polls. And they didn't stay in line. They didn't wait. And they just walked off and they got pissy and they took off. And yeah, there were problems, but they didn't do this early vote thing. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens. Whether your person wins or your person loses, we are in for one hell of a ride. Because guess what? Donnie can't fix shit in 4 years. I'm sorry to tell you. He can't. The machine is broken. What do you have to do when the machine is broken like this? You have to tear down the machine. That's you have to tear it down and you have to put a new machine in its place. The strike is lifted and I can stream again. Let's get this day over with, please. Thank you, Machini. I am right there with you. Let's get this over with. Let's get this done with. Let's move on. There will be some folks that don't move on. It doesn't matter what happens. There's going to be epic meltdowns. Whoever wins, whoever loses, there are going to be epic meltdowns. And there are going to be people screaming. And it's funny when one side says, how dare you question the most secure election in U.S. history? This will be the most secure election in U.S. history. And everyone's going to question it. Except the winner. That's get ready. Get ready for it. That's just the way it works now. Machini, thank you so much for the $5, brother. This one is just for you. Let's kick a little ass, take a little names, and see some Big G Scope. I'm glad it's working for you too, bro. Because it sure as shit. They had it broken on my end when I got mine. Miss Martin Muses with a 99-cent super sticker, and it is a sticker of a rose. Thank you so very much, Martin Muse. Who else is absolutely excited just for the simple fact that politics will be a toned down topic, at least for a while. Hopefully for a while. I can't wait. I can't wait till it's over. I absolutely can't stand politics. I'll talk about it. We'll do it. I'll give me my opinion. Tell you how I feel about it. But don't ever ask me to be a political commentator or super into politics. I'm just not. You know, I see people that are like, it's gonna crush red wave, blue wave, all kinds of shit. I've been absolutely just in their own universe. And I'm like, okay. Are politics important? Sure as shit they are. Is it this fight to the death thing that I've seen lately? Some people are going to tell you. Some people are going to tell you that the world is on the line. Some people are going to tell you the future is on the line. Some people are going to tell you if we don't get the person in that we want, the world is coming to an end. Now, you can say that about Orange Man Bad all you want to. You can say that about Giggles. You can say whatever you want to. The world's not just going to come to an abrupt end. Things will go on. They might be crappy. We might have another 4 years of bullshit to deal with, but things will go on. It's not going to be some kind of overnight thing. Just like it's not going to be an overnight thing for all of this to tone down. People are going to be up in their feels. Whether it's some chick crying or whether it's some dude on the internet losing his mind, talking mad shit, it's not going to stop. Now, here's the thing. And this is what is the most disingenuous bullshit that you have to deal with all of this is a lot of people are paid to do what they do. A lot of people are paid to say what they say. A lot of people are bought and paid for. So when you get these actors and actresses that are like, we support the Giggles. We support Giggles. Go out, ladies and gentlemen, and vote for Giggles to save our world. For the past 4 years, actors and actresses have been getting tax credits, along with studios that have been getting tax credits, very large coof tax credits. Okay, to the point that you guys and me and every citizen out there that pays taxes is paying for Hollywood. We bailed out the entertainment industry and they didn't even say thank you. Why didn't they say thank you? Because it's not everyday political knowledge and they have tried to hide it, that they are giving Hollywood billions of dollars to stay afloat. They are rescuing them from failures. I honestly believe that this started back when Disney released Captain Marvel. And we had all those empty theaters and we were going, what the hell is going on? How is this possible? How is this happening? Why would all these theaters be empty? They were getting money to cover any losses they experienced. Snowdub with $2 super chat says, vote Trump. Skull and tuck and roll. Skull and tuck and roll, my friend. Keep kicking butt, taking names. And this one is just for you, brother. A little skull and tuck and roll. And what is up? Good morning, my friend. How are you doing?
Oh, it's a great morning. It's a great morning. I'm blessed in a lot of ways, as I've told you privately. We are welcoming the world grandbaby number 6. So yes, Pop grand number 6 born. Born at like the 5 something this morning, and now it's an election day. So now we can, if nothing else, start the process of turning the page on all this nonsense and chaos. So good morning, everybody out there. Hope you're blessed, and love you, man. What's going on?
Oh, we're just talking about this whole thing that we're getting through today. Everybody's going out to vote. Dave Bob with $2 super chat just got back from voting for Trump Vance. Thank you, Dave Bob, so very much for getting out and voting. brother, and thank you for the $2 super chat. So you got a grandbaby in the mail this morning. That stork was just like, I'm bringing the baby.
Yeah, it was kind of like thought it was going to be yesterday. Just I guess had to flow around, do a couple extra laps, and we'll take it. We'll take it. So, but no, I would encourage everybody to get out there and vote, even if you radically disagree with us. I think it's just important for everyone to exercise one of the most valued rights that you have is say your opinion and however that motivates it. But at the same time, understand that sometimes it doesn't go your way, and that's hard to handle. But you know what? The world will keep turning, and things will go on. So. Yeah.
I saw a sign yesterday that said women weren't given the ability to vote. We took it. And I was like, what the hell does that have to do with anything?
Oh, I guess it's such a weird world that we live in with this division on every single level. And now it's like this campaign's really been driven. She hasn't really been as overtly as first woman ever kind of stuff as Hillary was when she ran in 2016. But it seems like society is, and there's so many people on TV and podcasts and stuff. That's all they're talking about. It's just completely crazy. So, I don't know. Again, as I say, the world will keep turning. I mean, there'll be some bumps and bruises and things along the way. Some of us won't agree with certain things, but you know what? We'll go on.
We do. And MB Geek Bar and Grill with $10 super chat. Thank you, brother, so very much. Says Hollywood should be taxed. They say pay their fair share. Well, why are they getting tax breaks? All they think about is Hollywood, the Hollywood bubble. Sorry, I follow politics. I know the state of the world. Because they've been coming in, especially like companies like Disney. These tax breaks weren't even designed for the super big companies. The super big companies are taking advantage of them anyway because they can. So if you can, why not? Does anybody not remember when the Lakers got COOF money for people that were supposed to have small businesses? It was small business relief. Does anybody remember that? And the Lakers got like hundreds of millions of dollars because they got paid for every single employee. And then they had to give that money back. Why do they have to give that money back, Loki? Because they're not a small business. They make hundreds of millions of dollars. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, kind of to piggyback on exactly what you're saying, is just Hollywood is just big business. Yes, people like to think of it as entertainment and art and all. No, it's just big business. They do these tax breaks, tax credit deals. That's why they do all this filming in Vancouver instead of the U.S. That's why they don't film as much in California. They go out here to Georgia, North Carolina. They go to London. They're all looking for the gimmies and the tax breaks. And you see this in other industries. It's not just Hollywood entertainment, but it's been exasperated in a post-COVID world, and it'll have to continue to reset itself, I think, over the next few years.
Mary's Game Room said, I heard last night that if Trump wins, it is because of men that put him in office. Bullshit.
Oh, dear Lord. So what they're going to do with that is they're just going to look at the poll divisions, and there's always a discrepancy of more women vote for the Democrat and more men vote for a Republican. You're going to see also some of this stuff to takes the pressure, because I think, again, let's just assume that that's 100% true, Mary, as a numbers guy with polls and stuff. I will tell you that will be way more highlighted because they also want to target podcasts. They want to really target that sort of manosphere and the circuit that Trump and Vance went on with all these different podcast shows they did. And it will take the focus off of how much of a shift there's been in like the minority communities voting for a Republican this time versus in the past.
Cotton says, when billionaires are doing well, we all do well. You tax the shit out of them, we will feel it. And why is that? Because guess what they've been doing? They've been taxing the shit out of business. This was Biden's Build Back Better. Well, guess what? All that trickles down to you. If they tax the shit out of a businessman and they're pulling twice the tax revenue from him than they normally do, guess what happens? He increases his prices and he puts all that on you.
It's just a line item to a business. Yeah.
Yeah. So he's still making what he's making, or he's making more than what he was making. and you get to pay for it.
Yeah, because if you look at like big companies, if we were running a big company, Loki, and they said, "Oh no, you guys are going to pay more tax. Your company's going to pay more in taxes." Well, we got to make it up somewhere else. So, yeah, I don't know. Oh, Decepticon. I'm sorry, man. That sucks, man. Isn't it the most frustrating thing when you go in? I actually had a problem yesterday. I actually Googled, and it said it's like I wasn't able to leave comments, and it seemed like it was happening on multiple channels. And there was a thing I found in YouTube's thing that says if you've left too many comments, they can just kind of put you in like your channel can be put in like a timeout. Have you heard of that before? I mean, I'm not surprised. I don't know if that actually what happened or not, but yeah, that's how I felt. Like I'd left. You know how it is. You get into a run where you just listen to a bunch of different people's shorts and comments and videos, and next thing you know, there's no comments at all. It's weird.
Big Sparrow said they will say it was toxic white men. Yeah, of course they will. It'll be all toxic white men's fault, and we're all Yahtzees, and we all get blamed for it.
Well, they've included the black men too. They're toxic too now. I like the fact that we at least are getting a little more diverse in our toxicity.
Dave Bob says inflation is directly related to deficit spending.
Oh,
we owe so much money. Let me just say, Trump doesn't have time to wipe out that much debt. I'm sorry, he doesn't. There's no world where 4 years he can fix everything. Now, here's what you need to think about. Trump for 4 years, Vance for 8 years, and get Tulsi in there. By God, Vance, make Tulsi your freaking VP and have her run with you and then let her take over and be president. I will totally, absolutely vote for that woman for president. Tulsi Gabbard kicked the shit out of Kamala Harris 4 years ago, and I would have loved to see her on the ticket now. And I'm absolutely excited. She's going to be part of the cabinet, and she's going to be working with them and kicking butt and taking names. I think that was brilliant to bring her in, but you should have brought her in as VP. I would have loved to see that because she could have addressed Harris personally, and she has. But still, running as VP, she'd have had a lot more headlines, woman on woman. Trump could sit back and go, you know what? I got my beautiful Tulsi VP who's going to stand up and tell the Kamalians exactly what they can go do with themselves.
So what do you think I mean, where are you on the end result tonight? Do we know tonight? I don't think we know tonight.
I don't think we know tonight. I don't think we know for sure tomorrow morning. I think this is what I think. This is the only thing I am sure about. One side is going to be screaming and crying and saying cheat. The other side is going to be happy as a clam. That's what I know is going to happen. But whoever loses,
the winner would be a big winner. That would be my best case scenario, right? Either way, right?
Yeah, big winner either way. Either he gets to throw a wrench in all the shit they've been doing. And I want to tell you something. Don't think that he can just go in there and undo everything this bastard's done with the sign of a pen. But Loki, didn't Biden do that when he got in? Yes, he did. But that's because Trump didn't shore it up and make sure that he couldn't override it. What do you think they've been doing ever since the debate with Biden? Biden's been signing more and more shit into law, and they are backing it up and covering it so Trump can't come in day one and do what Biden did day one. How do you know that? Because they didn't tell Donnie that he was going to come in and do that. They never had any clue. Donnie was just like, I'm in the dock. I'm here in the dock with the cats and the dogs. They love me. And the squirrels and the raccoons.
Yeah, what a reality show this election cycle has become, right? We even get cameos by the squirrels and the raccoons in the final, like right before the finale. We have squirrels and raccoons that take over and hijack the election cycle. It's crazy.
Well, they lost their shit when he was like, they're eating the dogs, they're eating the cats. Imagine if he'd have been like Little Peanut the squirrel. They killed him. They just went in and they took him. They replaced him with an illegal alien. an illegal migrant. But
Yeah.
little Peanut never had a chance.
God, it's such a angering story too. As someone who just literally hates big government, and for those of you that only don't know, I'm more of like the radical libertarian anarchist type, would just burn it down. Like if I had my dream, Trump would go in day one. Like, just everybody knows, Department of Education is gone. It goes back to the states. Y'all freaking figure it out. We don't need to spend $1 billion on a bunch of people. They don't even have jobs during the shutdown. You know, when they do those government shutdowns and they send all these people home, the essential employees work, and there's like no one at Department of Education and EPA and all these departments. It's like we don't need them. It's such a duplication. But I couldn't agree more. I mean, I don't want people to get too out over their skis thinking that Trump is going to be the savior that will fix everything. I do feel like it's probably going to be a little bit of the repeat of his first term, where there's going to be all these distractions and hate mongering and just all that stuff's just going to just keep going. And it'll start with the confirmation hearings. Because the confirmation hearings used to just be kind of a stamp, right? You pretty much just picked who you wanted, and it always went through. And they drug his stuff out for weeks. They tried to stall everything for weeks. It was insane. Never happened before, guys. Never. So I don't know.
They didn't want any of his people in there. They only wanted their people. They wanted him as confined in their circle as they could get, because the more people you bring in, the more eyes you have on a problem, the more people might see what's really going on and be like, tisk, tisk, tisk. And he knows better now. He's like, no, I know I've got to have some people, but I've also got to have my own people, and I can't just go through them. Because they took out everybody last time. They took out Bannon. They were getting his cabinet like left and right. They wanted them all out so that he would only have their people surrounding him.
What do you think about Elon and the idea of cutting the fat, as Dave Bob says? I'm not sure what he can actually do because these people are freaking union employees. So
you get rid of them. You get rid of them. You know what? If you want to pay the union, pay their damn salary for a year and let them go. Whatever. Pay them out. Because in the long run, even if you pay them out for a year, in the long run, you've got 3 years without having to deal with that and pay for it. So just pay them out. Pay them out a year on their contracts and tell them go find another job because you're not working here.
Yeah,
a lot of this political bullshit is all about money. Follow the money, and that's where your answers are going to be, is where the money's at.
And their pet peeve egos, right? So it is money, but it's also like, so the John Kelly, Mattis, Milley group, we've heard it a million times, right? All the generals and employees that are under Trump, they all turn on, they don't like, and I'm like, but that means they're all doing this because he is so anti-war. They went against him last time, right? Because he told them to get out of Syria and they didn't want to do it. And was there 2 or 3 of those kind of scenarios where he was like, make this go away, and they just didn't want to do it, and they lied to him. And now they all want to keep their clearances and their gushy jobs, their book deals and all that. And like, you have to kind of peel back sort of the veneer of how bad that is with follow the money.
Yeah. They've got to do something. They've got to do something. And he's got to do something. And there's going to be a lot of talk. Oh, he didn't do what he said he was going to do, and he didn't do this, and he didn't do that. They tried to handcuff him and throw him in the pokey from day one. They wanted him either under arrest or they wanted him gone. Why? Because he's an outsider watching all the underhanded, dirty shit they do every day. And they can't have that. This is why you need to get lifelong politicians need to go. Lifelong political careers gone. This hand-me-down shit. I'm going to hand my son my position, and he's going to hand his grandson, my grandson, his position, and so on and so forth. And what are we, a freaking monarchy? We don't save seats for our kids and our grandkids. It doesn't work like that. This isn't about I want to serve my country anymore. This is, I want to line my pockets and I want to make money.
And yeah, it's so built. It's such a sick, twisted monopoly on the media and the military industrial complex because war is so good for business, right? So it's just this horrible thing that I don't know how we totally rip it apart. And I hope that he can get more people around him. And I would say that I would like to see uh, how Elon keeps Twitter going because I think that he's going to be one of the main targets too, especially if Trump does not win. So if we go to the other direction, if she wins, I think that's the next phase is, you know, yes, they'll go after Trump, but they're also going to turn their sights on Elon and really Rogan because obviously Rogan endorsing Trump's really got to tick him off because he's sort of the poster child of this sort of like manosphere podcasting tour that I mentioned earlier. So the Theo Vons and all the rest of them. They just can't stand any of that stuff, man. Oh, yeah, they can't stand
They can't stand people having their own damn opinion. They used to it used to be, you know what, if you're in the middle, we'll take your vote. If you're in the middle, we will talk to you about blah blah blah. Now it is you're either one of us or you're the enemy. That's it. You're either us or you're the enemy.
I think it's worse than that. I think it's not even just your opinion. You're just less than them. They look at you as these, you know, regular people, yucky. Oh, they hate all that. I mean, there really is a legitimate looking down the nose and elitism type of stuff. And I'm not saying it doesn't happen from the Republican side or what. I'm just saying they have more in common with each other than they do with us. And I think that there is a sneering of that. And the podcasting stuff is even worse. The fact that they have now witnessing that these people can go on these different podcast shows and have a greater influence than going on. And he went on, he did the ABC debate, but he told one or two of the other ones to just pound sand, right? They just like, I'm not doing it. And he definitely is. He's told the story multiple times of I wasn't going to do the Republican debate. Why do I do them? I'm leading them by like 70 points. Why am I going to let them? Like, he has a good point. So he doesn't need them anymore. He can go on all these people and he's talking to millions here and millions there. And I don't know, man.
He does need him.
That would have been fun.
He does need him if he wants to be an effective president because he's got to get votes and he's got to have backup and he can't do it by himself. You can't be the guy in the White House that has to fight both parties. You can't because you're never going to get anything done. No one's ever going to do anything you want, and you're never going to have any support when it comes to a vote. So you got to have the support of somebody. You got to be on the side. This whole middle crazy thing. I remember when what was his name? I'm out. I'm in. I'm out. I'm in. I'm out. I'm in. Ross Perot was like independent. Woo woo, buddy. We're going to change the world, Jack.
The 92.
But then nothing. I mean, he like jumped out of the race. He came back in the race. He jumped out of the race. He came back in the race. And even if he had won, it wouldn't have gone anywhere because he had no support from either side. The Republicans didn't want him and the Democrats didn't want him.
Yeah, and because he was self-funded, there was actually no party. So it wasn't as though you were building on something that could go forward. And this is the libertarian argument, right? The libertarians are a joke. I mean, disenfranchised libertarians, like their party's just an absolute joke. There's no infrastructure. There's no too busy fighting over purity tests. They're full of extreme leftists and alt-right people too. So it's not like anything is above board. And I think what you're seeing, and maybe that's it. Maybe the best way to describe what Trump has done, he's sort of hijacked the Republican Party. And he's kind of created kind of an amalgam party of that. And then a lot of the Republicans I shouldn't say a lot, but most of the Republicans that I see that have jumped ship that are the anti-Trumpers now, they're more of what the John McCain era, Lindsey Graham era, war people, like go bomb some sand and kill some brown people, or those, and they're voting Democrats. And then you have her on stage with Liz Cheney. The Cheneys are back, and I'm like, okay, I'm out. I'm in. I went. Yeah. I went and voted for Trump that day. Like, okay, I'm done. I'm out. I went and voted for Trump. I'm like,
Cheney's back.
We're not reforming the Cheneys. We're not bringing. No, we're not making the Cheneys great again. We're not doing this. No. So.
Well, he's anti-war. He's anti all this. He's like, you know what, guys, put me into the game, and within give me a couple of days.
Stop the killing. And stop the killing. This is take on Ukraine.
Well, let me explain. Yes. Let me explain why. All the money that's going over there is coming back here. So all the money we're sending there and all the money we're spending over there is all coming back here. And anyone that has stock in the DOD, in war bonds, in whatever the hell is going on, gun manufacturing, ammo, bombs, planes, all of it, they're all making a dime off of what's going on over there. They're all making a killing. Every single one of them. Why? Because they don't own stock in this shit. And they know exactly what's going to happen before it happens. Your input is no longer required. You don't have a say. But they say I have a say with who I vote for. They can do whatever the hell they want to do. And they're going to do what's best for them. Yes, there are Republicans that make money off all this shit. Why? Because they own stock in all this shit too.
Yeah, and I think that this is
like the Cheneys,
the Boeing and these big DoD contracts and stuff like that. And I think and this is the problem too, is follow the money is such an important thing, because there's even like the immigration argument. Imagine him talking about, we're going to close the border, we're going to build this wall, we're going to do these different things, and all these people are like scared of just losing their job. Especially when you have someone like me who's like, destroy the Department of Education and get rid of these, because we already have state versions of all those. We do actually need an immigration department. We actually do need a border patrol, because that is part of what the federal government is supposed to do. But if you remember, under the old guy that doesn't exist, he just didn't enforce the law. They just didn't close the border, and then had to fight with Texas, and they couldn't close the border. Like, it's so freaking nuts. The world's completely nuts. So I actually couldn't agree more with the whole, well, even if we can't try them for treason, which I'm not sure about if we can get a court to do it, we can at least take away all of their clearances, right? Dean, you can definitely confirm that, right? All of them can just lose their clearances, and he should just do it. And they're just going to say he's being spiteful and vengeful, Loki, but I would just do it. Clear all of it. Clear the state. No more of this. Yeah, no more of this leaking crap to the news. No more of this. No, you're done. So, and when you're firing people from all the alphabet agencies, they all lose their clearance out the door. All of it. Done. Make the next people reinstate it. If you lose next time, the Democrats they'll put them all back. Fine. But we're not doing this anymore. Shut it down. Yeah.
Well, there are over 1,000 positions you have to fill when you go in. So you go in as president, you've got to decide, okay, I want these key people here. I want these key people here. And you know what, guys? You go out and you hire the rest of these people to fill this, to be your underlings. So you put people in positions of power and then let them put their own people in positions of power. And at least that's the way he was explaining it the other day.
It's more, but he's surrounded himself with people who are more attuned to that, rather than just these old school party people that just have names. So, for instance, just Vance alone is so much more knowledgeable on how finding like certain type. He was talking about David Sachs, who's like basically just an entrepreneurial type guy, but he's like super smart, like Vance is. They're close friends. Those are people that understand how that infrastructure works. Okay, we can put this person in charge of this. They're going to hire these 100 people. Whereas before it was like, well, we'll put John Bolton in because he's John Bolton. And it's like, well, John Bolton's a crazy person. You know what I mean? Like, so it was, I think this is the difference between this group and the next group. And I do hope that he does fulfill on these. Like, well, I mean, it's not going to go well for the country if he were to win and then not use Bobby Kennedy Jr., not use Tulsi, not use Vivek. Like, he needs to do the things that appear to be what he's doing, because that will unite people, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? It's like the best way to create healing is to just be truthful and honest and move forward in a positive way for everyone, because the Democrats are going to benefit from it too. Like I said, the federal government notwithstanding. State Department, yeah.
Can you even trust? Considering how much lying's going on. See, here's the deal. The politicians will sit there and say, oh, we had nothing to do with YouTube shutting down your opinion on something. We had nothing to do with Google censoring you or taking away your blah. We had nothing to do. But then we find out all that bullshit's a lie. All of it's a lie. They're doing it. They're doing what they want to do. As soon as this comes out and as soon as it's known, yes, the federal government was calling YouTube. They were sending messages to Facebook. They were contacting X. saying, take this down, do this, you need to do this, you need to follow what we need you to do here. As soon as that all came out, all of this should have been a moot point, because the government is not allowed to interfere that way. The government is not allowed to tell them to censor someone. Why? Because the government cannot censor them. Because of freedom of speech, the government can't say, "Oh, we're gonna go on to YouTube and we're gonna the government this video has been removed by the U.S. government for blah blah blah." They can't do that.
Correct.
But they can legally get a corporation to do it for them, as long as they're not telling them they have to. It's a request.
But they need someone now. Even so, let's assume we're going forward though, but I can retroactively go back and say, oh, Loki is the one that was tied to telling Twitter that they needed to take down the Hunter Biden laptop, and I can go to those people that I have that paper trail for, and you're all fired with cause. So I don't care if you're a union or not, you're all gone. And guess what? I'm not filling those positions. And through attrition, I can cut the government waste. And this is what I would do in that. If you're on the record with these type of moves that are out of bounds, and I don't know with you Loki, but I would, and I know that the media is going to, basically the media is going to imply that we're putting their lives at risk by doing this. That's what gets into the press. We tell them all their names. Here's these 5 people who did this to Twitter. Here's these 5 people who are tied to Facebook. They did this. It's wrong. It's illegal. They shouldn't be doing that. They're fired. And here who they are. And that's what we do on scale with all of these different things, because all of these are lies. The Russian collusion people, these people have jobs, Loki. Russian collusion was 2.5 years of our lives, and how many? Probably billions of dollars. I forget about millions. I think it's got to be like 2 billion. It's got to be billions of dollars. They spent so much time with investigations and hearings, and what all of them should be gone. All of it.
And we were told by congressmen, by senators, by the United States government, we know he did this. We have proof. We have evidence. We know he got caught red-handed, and they lied to you.
Yep, and we should censor.
I have something I have to share, but I'm waiting for the blah 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 blah. They didn't have shit. Correct. It was all made up bullshit.
It was political stuff.
It was political. It was a big political game. Project Cameron says, all I'm hoping for is that the conditions for normalcy, well, a stronger semblance of it, come back to the U.S. Allied countries like Canada end up overcompensating for whatever moves the U.S. makes. Canada's got its share of.
They're more like a European state at this point.
Yes.
Yeah, the stuff in the UK, and the stuff in Canada are should be frightening. Frightening. The free speech, the attack on free speech stuff there, and the censorship stuff there, and the lack of immigration control is so out of control there. So,
and if one of these guys, knifes a toddler at the supermarket or whatever, they don't care. They won't report it. It won't be out there.
So what does the media do? What does the media do now? Because they're going to be toast after tonight, right? So many of them are going to be wrong. Even if she wins, I think so many of them are wrong, because I think the reason the polls are showing so much of it is close is because that's their way of hedging their bet. They're going to hedge their bets. They don't know. Nobody knows. I actually am trying to. It's so bad, Loki, because you've heard about the Iowa poll, the great Iowa poll that shows that she wins Iowa now. I cannot find the data on the questions that they ask. In other words, yes, you can see the report, and you can. Oh, they claim all this stuff. You know how these work, right? Oh, it's 84% of this. Yeah, that's great. Where's the questions and the data? Because you can usually find those. They usually publish those, right? And you can find out the exact numbers of people. You can find out, and not just like 800 and something likely. No, it'll tell you this many men, this many women. It'll tell you the question. It'll give you very specific. I can't find it, so I'm ready to call bullcrap on the New York Times Iowa Des Moines poll thing. If what should track is Iowa, he wins Iowa by like 5, like, you know what I mean? So I don't know, man.
Take care, Penny.
Yeah, Penny, you have a great day. Be blessed, lady. I don't know, man.
They published the results on that Iowa poll without the crosstabs.
I can't find any of the details at all shown. Maybe if you find something, let me know. I want to see the specific wording of the questions and the details. My gut is telling me they swayed it to be very pro women Democrat, and that's why it turned out very pro women Democrat. I don't think it's going to be a legit poll. And they're hiding a lot of stuff in the independent category. I don't know about Texas. We don't have, we have an independent contingent in Florida, but not to the scale that these polls are representing. I'm talking like 20 something percent. 20% is freaking independent. I'm talking about registered people, not, oh, I think I'm independent, like Stephen A. Smith at ESPN. I'm talking about actual independent people.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Oh man. Let's see.
So, Pops, you got your vote out. Yes.
Yeah, I voted. I voted Trump. I was really I didn't vote for him the first time. I abstained. Like I said, I'm the libertarian anarchist guy, and didn't do the first time. Did the second time. Kind of, Mrs. Pops and I really were back and forth on the second time, and really didn't really know what to think about this one. Wasn't not a fan of him being the candidate. I know that's not what people want to hear, but I really felt my governor deserved his chance. I think my governor did such a great job during COVID. He's fantastic. But I cannot even believe how bad the Democrats have gotten with this whole bait and switch. But Kamala in, Biden's out. Now we spent like 3 weeks if he's a Yahtzee, and then the Liz Cheney stuff, immigration. It's completely nuts. And they killed a squirrel, Loki. You gotta have a line in the sand somewhere, man.
They're killing the dogs. They're killing the cats. They're killing the squirrels. They're killing the raccoons. Yeah, they killed Peanut and they killed Fred, the raccoon.
Yeah.
So, all because some twisted little twat hated the fact that Peanut got more views than she does on her shitty ass YouTube channel. We'll talk about that tomorrow on YouTube Talk because, yeah, be it depths of depravity, people will go to get rid of you because they do not like you because you get more attention than they do. As if we've never talked about that before.
How is Texas really? Because they love to paint Texas being a lot closer than I think it is.
I've never seen this bitch turn blue. So, Austin right now is like a town in California. It may not be that bad, but it's close. San Antonio can get kind of blue, but the whole state, it's red as a stoplight.
And I think in Texas, unlike most states that I know about, even though everybody knows it's going to be red, they like to vote. Like is it a high turnout state? I think it's a pretty high turnout state compared to most states.
Well, it's got a huge population.
But I mean, it's like a percentage wise, it's a huge turnout. Like people there's a lot of pride in voting in Texas, whereas a lot of states are like, I'm red, I don't need to vote. My vote doesn't matter. Nonsense. I hate all of that, by the way. So yeah. All right, man.
Punk Waddle. Austin doesn't speak for all of Texas. That's right. Austin does not speak for all of Texas.
I don't know. Rogan and others are changing their hearts, so we'll see what happens, man. Maybe we can make Austin great again.
Dean Krantz says, at first I was willing to give him grace, but Kabul was an abortion and he checked his watch when they did the dignified transfer. They cannot come back from that for me. No. There's a lot of people that are like, when this happened, when I saw this, that was it. I was done. I was finished. A lot of people saw how they went after Trump again after the assassination attempt, after he got his ear blown off. How they were like, oh no, violent rhetoric. And then immediately went back to, he's evil, he's a Yahtzee, he's an instant Obe, he's this and that and the other. He's the most horrible thing on the planet. Why don't you do something? The craziest thing I ever saw was when they were telling people, you need to do something about him. And I was like, oh shit, I cannot believe they said that. They know what they're doing. They know what they're doing. They know what they're saying. So, and they did it multiple times. I think people are tired of this shit. Do I think that he will win by default because people are tired of it? I don't know, but I think that it's going to be one hell of a show. Either way, it's going to be one hell of a ride, which is what the title was for today. All right, we've got you coming up later today for Talk Hard. What do we got?
Yeah, Gladiator. We just had it on the slate. Gladiator 2 comes out in a couple weeks. Knock out Gladiator. Kind of an underrated epic film for me. So I was really happy to revisit that. I don't know, man. I don't want to take away from the day. Let's get out and vote, folks, and ask yourself what Bill Clinton asked. He said the other day, are you better off than you were 4 years ago? That really is the heart of everything. Let's just go to there.
Yeah.
We'll follow Bill Clinton's lead and ask ourselves.
If you think we are, if you're like, you shouldn't worry about the prices of things, Loki. Oh, you can kiss my ass.
Yeah, me too, man. You got to be. Yeah, you can go pound sand. No, but listen, there was a great book that happened after Trump won the first time called The Great Revolt, and it analyzed all the Obama blue areas that voted for Trump. And I was amazed at how many people, it's kind of what you said earlier. Usually most voters that change, it's like one vote. It's one incident it's like, like Dean was saying, it was the Afghanistan stuff for him. It's like, even if I could give you a chance, I can't give you a chance now. You know what I mean? It's like people have one thing and that moves people. So whatever your one thing is, are you better than you were 4 years ago? Apply that and let's see where we're at. So,
yep. Guys, I will be back later on today over at That Game Place. At least I believe we are going live today at 1:30, I think. And then I will be live later in the day over at Pops for Talk Hard as we're talking Gladiator. Are you not entertained?
Yeah.
Thank
That'll
you
be on
very
with
much.
Pacific 414's Rumble channel. We're doing politics and election talk tonight, starting at 8 o'clock Eastern. So I'll be definitely more of this, more in the weeds on data and analysis. Getting to be old school Pops right there for you. So.
Guys, we're getting out of here, though. Take care. Be excellent to each other. Always speak friend to enter. And don't miss Gladiator later today on Pops' channel. Have a great one, everybody.
These videos are tremendous. Like, comment, and subscribe, and hammer that notification bell.